the Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hello, guys, and welcome back for some more SPTV, where we do literally ask ourselves every single time we do one of these videos, what in the literal abominable hell is Scientology so afraid of? What in the world could it be, you guys? Well, and for one, y'all can go check out this community post that I made that says, if you've woken up to your childhood trauma, you're part of a minority. And as you guys all know, from having watched my channel and for having watched what I speak about anytime I come here on SPTV to share with you guys the plight of the most underrepresented, most ignored, most suppressed, most invalidated Scientology problem. Scientology has a kitty problem. And that problem isn't going away, and that problem has not gone away. In fact, that exact same problem is the only literal reason we would ever even continue speaking about our past and the most disgusting, abominable hotels that we were forced to be a part of. We were never of any age to consent to be part of this disgusting hotel, much less the racketeering scheme that it is. You guys. And I would like to actually start out this video with what I wrote down that goes with this post. Imagine being a Scientology so-called executive. You spend decades child trafficking kids around the world inside of these disgusting hotels. You knew everything that was going to go on inside of the hotels. You were perfectly aware and okay with the commoditizing and dehumanizing of children at an industrial size scale. Then imagine all the executives that so-called left, the executives that left the hotel, the action of walking through a threshold left them so delusional that now they decided that all the felonies they perpetrated on kids are just a David Miscavige problem. So now they spend all this time building a new image for themselves as so-called whistleblowers, yet all the so-called activism is tied to either number one, laundering their image, number two, making money out for themselves. In what world is a person that is a literal walking, unindicted child trafficking felon the person that should be pitched as an angel? We're talking unhinged child abuse and torture, not just anything. We are talking about executives that practice law without a license, offering all sorts of deals to self-admitted, you know exactly what in the hell we mean, including but not limited to. All of these Scientology executives, both current and the so-called exes, are counting on their child abuse victims not to deal with the trauma and the shame of being child trafficked inside of these hotels so that they can continue to have a falsely sanitized image. One that the Tampa Bay Times has been willing to cleanse. It takes a ton of enablers to pull off this level of industrial size scale child trafficking operation. And so far, the generation that committed these felonies, that perpetrated these felonies against literal children, want everyone to, one, forgive them, two, blame everything on their boogeyman of the century, David Miscavige. Y'all could not be more pathetic and in love with your permanent gaslighting skills that you did take it upon yourselves to learn inside of the hotel. You constantly make it about your victimhood, y'all's trials and tribulations that you consented to be a part of as a full-grown man or woman that you were. Stop infantilizing your damn selves and do something about stopping this disgusting child trafficking on steroid hotel operation that y'all bankrolled and fully endorsed and were all about already. How? By coming MF clean. That's how. All Scientology grown adult parents and executives need to come the F clean and stop laundering y'all's image because it's pathetic and it's being done at the expense of all the current kids trafficked inside the damn hotels. When the why is clear, the how could not be any more easy or self-evident. Again, what the F are y'all waiting for exactly? The children y'all did abuse and committed Class A felonies on are waking up to the facts. Why the hell is an entire generation of grown adult child traffickers that are not out there pretending that they have not a shred of a clue how to stop the problem they created? In what world is any of their pathetic, criminal, child abuse-ridden existence credible? Please, by all means, advise and stop playing dumb full time, which apparently is the only mode that these unindicted felons, child trafficking ex-Scientologists have. They are all now proud members of the Nothing to Do with Me Club. And that's where we start. All of these people that took it upon themselves to have paid memberships to a hotel as grown consenting adults have a ton of things to start explaining. And the video that we're about to watch, you guys, is going to prove that no matter how hard these adults try to misdirect the attention of the press, to misdirect the attention of the FBI, to misdirect the attention of all the criminal justice system so that they can live out a legacy that is a lie. so that they can run out the statutes of limitations so that they are not personally implicated, all the while collecting checks for themselves, all the while monetizing at every opportunity for themselves. And their efforts could not be more pathetic, predictable, and about to be utterly futile. So check out this video with me and let's react.
But then I did a little too much and scheduled a call with the maritime lawyer to look for the Scientology ships. So
Why did you want to look for the Scientology ships? Find the homeless
I
people?
think
Where are they putting the homeless people?
With me, it's like the microdose has to stay micro, or else I really need to know where Shelley Miscavige is.
Is that a thing?
I mean, my guess is she's probably involved. I don't think she's an innocent. Everyone's like, where's Shelley Miscavige? Let's find her. I'm like, I bet she's an asshole too.
But is that a thing? Like she's...
I bet she's an asshole too, says Whitney. And Shelley Miscavige, you guys, is not just an asshole. She's a woman that was, number one, child trafficked herself to L. Ron Hubbard by her own Scientology parents as a minor. And number two, a woman who wanted to be at the top of this food chain, wanted to child traffic other kids so that they could experience the same level of depravities that Shelley experienced herself. Now, Shelley's over 60 years old now. Imagine you made all the wrong choices in your entire existence. Choices that put you at the exact time, place, form, and event of felonies committed against children. So when Whitney says Shelley's an asshole, she is a child abusing felon that has never been called out for her willingness to be doing the disgusting things that Shelley Miscavige loved doing while she was a top executive inside of those hotels, including but not limited to signing every last goddamn CSW for every last child that ended up in their gulag camp, in their so-called holes where they would put children, the ones that, you know, people like Mike Rinder, people like Marty Rathbun, people like Debbie Cook never have actually spoken about. Imagine that, you guys. Imagine these three amigos that couldn't have been more doing the work that they were doing together as a team, coordinating thereby and therewith for decades, left, ran to the Tampa Bay Times and yelled that they were stuck in a trailer as adults. And imagine that they have not taken it upon themselves to spill the beans as to how many children were they terrorizing themselves without David being anywhere near the radius of where the actual child abuse was taking place. So it's true. A lot of the Scientology story has been so poppy to the point where, you know, who cares where Shelley's missing? I'm sure she's just an asshole like everyone else. Well, it goes a lot further than that.
Missing still?
Yeah, I think she's still missing. But I did get kind of obsessed with the maritime law, how Scientologists are able to operate on the ships because there's maritime law. There's, you know, they can get away with it.
Yeah, isn't that one of the main reasons?
Well, and apparently Whitney, you guys, in all the maritime research that she did because she was very, very obsessed, apparently she failed to understand that the current child trafficking lawsuits filed in Tampa Bay federal court have everything to do with trafficking kids outside of the state of Florida and locking them up inside that ship. So, yet again, we understand that the corporate media, including the Tampa Bay Times, who's been sleeping not only at the wheel, sleeping with the enemy. They can't get their story straight. They can't figure out anything at all, the Tampa Bay Times. They're just regurgitator reporters that cannot investigate or pull a shred of a string out of literal rag dolls that come out of this hotel, fully implicated, fully doing the job that they were doing there for themselves, a la Debbie Cook. 17 years of service that woman did inside of those hotels. And the best the Tampa Bay Times could do was Debbie Cook was also abused by David Miscavige, you guys. Isn't that sad? Isn't that so sad?
Why L. Ron Hubbard started that? Because like he's probably in trouble.
Yeah, and it's also why like billionaires, I'm like, why are you docking your yacht
in Monaco
100 yards from land? Why aren't you just staying in the best hotel in the world? Oh, because of what you can get away with.
Also, you have a yacht.
You also do that.
It's a fucking dope ass house that floats around the ocean. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess if I had a yacht, okay, I guess if I had
fuck out of here with that hotel.
But it's like, I guess I got really into the laws of how Epstein Island Epstein Island had all these plastic cows that someone would move from above or something.
Oh, so it looked like it's agricultural land?
Yeah.
Really?
This is why I can't do mushrooms, Joe.
Jesus. They had.
So if you got so much into the Jeffrey Epstein Island, Whitney, I hope that you run into this video so that you can start connecting the dots of the childlike Epstein victims. It wasn't just a few, dozens of us. It wasn't just like 50 or 60 or 70 girls, underage girls like Jeffrey and Ghislaine. What these people were getting away with trafficking inside of their hotels. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that were trafficked into the hotel to deliver unthinkable, disgusting, indefensible, extreme role plays that the adults were paying to have a child deliver, paying money, the IRS being in on it, giving them a tax write-off every time they paid to get their freak on with a child inside the hotel. So yeah, Jeffrey Epstein and the cows were moving and the cows was that. Well, you know what? No one has eyes inside of the hotel except all of those celebrities in y'all's Hollywood. They have eyes inside of the hotel. And so does every last executive that has come out to purport they really want to whistle blow. They have had eyes inside of the hotel. And so does every parent that wants to go and complain about how, oh my God, my Scientology kid that I did donate to the Sea Org won't speak to me again. All of those parents that literally were cashing in the rewards, the financial rewards for having had the ability to traffic and enslave their children in modern day. We're not talking about back in the day when slavery was legal, you guys. And no, we're talking about slavery in the real time right now, and slavery of kids. If you want to be an adult that wants to be a slave, Monique Youngling and her cohorts have literally drafted up the type of consents that adults can sign so that they really can make their dreams come true to become that slave. That is available to every last shred of adult. And guess what? No one's coming to save you from making that stupid choice for yourself. So for all of the Scientology adults that just want to go, oh my God, blah, 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 you sign the consent forms. They couldn't have been more clear.
Fake agriculture?
So that it would move, But I just love the idea that it was someone's job every morning to get up
move
and
the fake
move the fake cows. Yeah.
It is weird that that's the whole thing about fishing. Is like international waters. They can kind of get away with a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
They can just scoop up everything that's out there. They get caught in their nets.
A lot goes on out there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of wild shit happens out there.
LAPD closed Shelly Miscavige's missing person case after woman claims she was the Scientology leader's wife, despite the fact they had mismatched fingerprints and footage of their rendezvous was mysteriously scrambled. She was last seen publicly at her father's funeral in 2007. What?
I mean,
would they close the case in 2013 after meeting a woman who didn't? So this has been going on for that long
that she's been missing. But do we really think she was? I mean, she was probably blowing him every time he got a new celebrity. In the set, you got John Travolta. Like, I'm sure.
That is wild, though.
And as disgusting as what Whitney Cummings just said, you guys, that is the culture of those executives. They were proverbially blowing each other, blowing the celebrities, delusionally thinking that they were special in any way, when all they were is glorified child traffickers, child abusers that used the fact that no one could go inside of the hotel so that they could actually institute these disgusting, unthinkable, indefensible, extreme role plays that they were having children such as myself at age 12 be fully engaged with adults.
That's why, if she really is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
16 years.
That whole thing is absolutely bonkers. They're still out there running around.
Not only, but also kids born into it, that's where I go, that's not okay if you're born into it. But if you're the kind of person that's susceptible to Scientology, is it not a good idea for you? I mean, it's like, what would they be doing if they weren't in that castle in LA?
Maybe they should be following the laws. Maybe they should be not being allowed to launder self-admitted felonies by purporting they have a so-called technology that can circumvent all the laws of the United States, the toothless, pathetic, unenforceable laws of the United States that everyone inside of that hotel is entitling themselves not to follow the minute they cross the threshold of the doors of the hotel. And the part where she goes, you guys, yeah, the children is what I'm not okay with. Is the children who are the victims of every last person that goes inside of the hotel. For as many times as we're going to have to repeat this ad nauseum, because apparently common sense is something that doesn't stick in the collective of people, you guys. Apparently, the Scientology blah, blah, blah is all about Sinu and where Shelley and all these glib talking points that you really have to wonder where in the hell did these talking points originate and for what purpose? What type of short stories have been used to clog the airwaves filled with misinformation so that they can continue to abuse children and not see a shred of repercussion? So I wanted to bring you guys this video, and I wanted to also let you know that what should have been obvious common sense, which is in no way, shape, or form can any of our parents, can any of the people that gaslit us to become part of that hotel, can defend themselves in purporting that the role plays, the extreme, disgusting, unhinged role plays that L. Ron Hubbard did pitch to all of these adults, that all of these adults thought, nothing would get me off more than doing what in the hell L. Ron Hubbard is telling me to do. And it wouldn't get me off more if I couldn't pay to have it done by a 12-year-old inside an American hotel. Because as much as, Joe goes, oh yeah, they can get away with a ton of stuff if they really just go out to the sea. These hotel executives didn't have to go to the sea. The abuses are happening here, domestically in the United States. The child trafficking, the main core, the biggest concentration of it is in Florida and California, making it a red and blue issue. The government could not be more implicated if it wasn't a full-blown bipartisan, disgusting problem that this government is definitely supporting. So let's keep asking, why in the literal hell the enablers of all these people that are full knowing what in the hell is going on inside those hotels, why are they being so choosy with their words and the narratives and the things that they care about? Why are they getting help by laundering their image, by pointing the finger at David Miscavige as if every last parent and executive of those hotels isn't fully implicated? That's all we ever get, right, guys? It's always like, oh, I'm so different. David did it. David was doing it. David was ordering it. David was calling for it. They couldn't be more pathetic in wanting for everyone to not understand who they are. So if you are a Scientology parent, start Googling what child trafficking means. Start Googling if it's a good idea to have your child's passport locked up inside of a hotel. And then start Googling criminal attorneys. Go get advisors. Go get advocates. You are all going to need your own set of criminal advocates. People that can really advocate on your behalf. People that can really come up with a defense for having literally donated your children and made financial rewards as a result of that transaction. That's the type of lawyer that all Scientology parents need to be looking for, especially the ones that donated kids to the Sea Org. And all the Scientology executives that want to point the finger at David Miscavige, grab that finger real quick and point it at your damn selves. And once you point that finger at your damn selves, go grab yourselves paper and a pen and write time, place, form, and event of every child trafficking felony that you were participating in, having to do with trafficking kids inside of the hotels. And once you're done writing up your actual overts and withholds, aka your child trafficking felonies, turn them into the FBI Crimes Against Children Unit. And then let the FBI Crimes Against Children Unit work out deals with y'all. But you're getting zero leniency if you aren't coming clean. You're getting zero cradling and canoodling because you all committed felonies against kids. And if you don't know what that means, go clear the definition of felony, go clear the definition of child trafficking, and then write an essay and do a clay demo of how a auditing session that was governed by the rule, I promise never to let a PC end the session on its own determinism, wasn't false imprisonment of children at an industrial size scale. So if you're an executive in Scientology that doesn't know what in the hell I'm talking about, start doing those clay demos. Put your technology to use so you can open your damn eyeballs. And for once in your life, start confronting evil. What L. Ron Hubbard said, the man didn't want to confront, well, confront it. Confront your damn selves. Confront what you were lured to be a part of. And once you start confronting that, start coughing up the felonies you have all enabled to do inside of the damn hotels. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all really soon. Bye-bye.